Hi, everybody. Okay, I just timed that. That's cool. Let me just get myself situated um, and look at myself on my iPad so I can probably not look at the chat. How are you all doing? Friday, another wonderful hop sponsored by our Mary. And thank you, everybody who has been hopping along today. It's been awesome. I woke up early and watched the earlier ones, and then I promptly fell asleep. And then, I woke up again. So, hi, Deborah and Juanita and Mary and Peg and Judy and Roy and Janet Nash and Mary's Folly, Mina, Barbara Clark, uh, let's see, J.L. Johnson. Some of these names I'm not familiar with, so if you are new to me, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And Carla, thank you so much. And Craft, yeah, Monkey, okay. It all looks good. Eileen, my Florida neighbor. I hate to say this, but haven't we been lucky, Eileen? And you know what I'm talking about, right? It's been, yeah, we've been fortunate. So I was supposed to do a Poe page, and I don't know why. It just was so random. Uh, when it first came up and they were talking about Halloween, and then it changed to Oktoberfest, and I had initially typed in a Poe page, and so I was struggling over a Poe page. Edgar Allan Poe, one of a great American author. Tragic, interesting life. Uh, yeah, I'm in as my students used to call it, Melbourne, Florida. And so I was kind of going all over the place trying to figure out, I started out doing a little, one of those little fold out type of mini things. And then, this is the problem with the internet. So you get out there and you see all these ideas and they start rambling around in your head. So I made a shadow box. I think that's what they used to call them in the old days. And I love cardboard. I just love working with cardboard. So I whipped this up today. And so I've made this. So it's going to be like a Poe box instead of a Poe page. And hi, Auntie Loopy. How are you tonight? And Denise. And so I think this is right. And obviously, I was able to go online, and I subscribe to Graphic Fairy, and they have an enormous amount of graphics that you can download. It's a monthly subscription. I bought it for the year, and so I have incorporated some of their stuff. So I've got a good part of this done. This is made out of good old cardboard. This box came from a company that I buy toilet paper from. And I love this company because the name of this toilet paper company is Who Gives a Crap? And they only sell toilet paper, paper towels, and tissues. And they use a lot of their profits to build toilets for the rest of the world who don't have toilets. Hi, Lisa. And so I have downloaded a lot of stuff, and I'm just going to start gluing it in. Some of these are really kind of funny. And this is a coffin. So I'm going to stick that in. And, Poe was very, 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 very prolific. And he died rather young. I think he was 43 when he died. And he had married his 14-year-old cousin. And I guess back in the day, I'm assuming she wasn't like a first cousin, but and they were married for 10 years, and she passed away at the age of 24 of tuberculosis. And of course, at this time of year, the most famous poem is The Raven, once upon a midnight weary, uh, I was dozing, and anyway, and and that was supposedly about her. And then he wrote the poem Lenore. So I've got some other, headlines here. Uh, the Black Cat, The Fall of the House of Usher, The Pit and the Pendulum, The Black Cat, The Telltale Heart. The Telltale Heart is one of my favorite. It's just so gruesome that. Oh, you work near that? Yeah, I know that there's a museum, and there's also a museum in Virginia, Eileen. And I guess he was told not to travel, and he traveled, and he disappeared for a couple of days, and they found him in a unconscious in a bar in New York, and then he soon passed away. I think he was only 43 when he passed away. So it's amazing if you go back and look at all of the literature that he produced in a relatively short period of time. It's pretty astounding. So I have a little carpet here, and I have a little bloody heart. And if you're not familiar with the Telltale Heart, the narrator of the story has a neighbor in an apartment building, and he's totally grossed out by the guy's eye. This is all of Poe's stuff is weird. So he can't stand it, and this is slowly driving him crazy. So he kills the guy, right? And he cuts him up, and he buries the body pieces underneath the floorboards of his apartment. And he starts hearing the heartbeat. And over a period of time, it drives him crazy. And of course, he's the only one that's hearing the heartbeat. And eventually, he goes totally insane, and they arrest him, I guess, for murder. And so the Telltale Heart, it's just a heart that keeps on ticking. And the guy goes crazy. And another one of his, all of his stuff is kind of, even today's standards, it's pretty out there. So I'm going to stick the bloody heart here, and I'm going to put the flooring over the heart as best I can. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Black Cat. And I was not familiar with that particular story. And I looked that one up. And this guy and his wife, were, I guess, ordinary people. And this guy was very fond of animals in general. And he had a black cat named Pluto. And he decided that the cat was ignoring him. And that was not good for the cat, because he was a drinker, and he came home one night drunk, and the cat was ignoring him, and he chased after the cat. And this is pretty gruesome. Right. He never got old. You're right, Kathy. Yeah. And so he grabs the cat, and he, gouges out its eyes, and then hangs it from a tree. And then the house catches on fire because someone had thrown the body of the dead cat through the window of the house. But he was going to kill the cat, and the wife stopped him, so he killed the wife instead. And then he walled up the wife's body when they were rebuilding the house after the fire. He walled up her body in a brick wall, and the cops came, and they were questioning him. And then, foolish, he went down into the basement, and he said, look how sturdy, they've rebuilt the house. And all of a sudden there was this blood curdling meow, and the cops broke down the door, and lo and behold was the decomposing body of his wife and the cat, the second cat that he had tried to kill, that he ended up bricking in. So that's a synopsis of the Black Cat. So you really want to be creeped out. Vincent Price, right? I think someone mentioned Vincent Price. He didn't he do all? Yeah, I don't know whether he did a lot of Poe. I'm reading somebody's comment. Judy said, "This is so cute." Yeah, it is cute. uh, it's cute and gruesome all at the same time. So here's the chair, that he's sitting in when the raven starts knocking. So I'm going to try to glue this down. Guys, I've been working on this literally all day long. And all of a sudden I realize, oh my gosh, I'm on. But I was also watching everybody else. And of course, Colleen and Kathy, they are their own mad scientists, right? I really think that I envision Colleen with a white lab coat on, because I love the stuff that they do. They literally show no fear at all. They just go in and experiment with all sorts of neat stuff. And now this guy goes in here, but I must not have measured right. But I love this little graphic. This is a really neat Poe. I'm probably, plagiarizing like crazy, but I'm not selling any of this. And I don't think, hopefully you guys won't turn me in. And I apologize for, downloading stuff. But it's all in the name of art. And whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to make a Poe paper doll because Mary made paper dolls today. And I thought that would have been kind of neat. So I'll put this Poe here with that bewildered look on his face. And that's his chair, right? Well, maybe not. Stay. Well, that's just not working, is it? Huh? Because I glued the whole back of the thing. And you're being... Okay, we'll just glue it down then, right? Here we go. Bing. All right, that's good enough. How does that... Can you see that? Whoops. It's kind of got a cool shadow on it, doesn't it? Let me go up. Is that better? I don't know. It's kind of creepy. Creepy good, right? Okay. On to the next Poe. We have this Poe who's looking but I like it. They have him with bunny slippers on. And we will stick him here. And I have a grandfather's clock to kind of go in the background. I think that'll work, right? And I am armed and, well, maybe. These glue guns can be really awesome and they make short work. I'm not really happy with that gorilla one, though. I'm really disappointed in it, but it jams all the time. But but it certainly sticks stuff down real quickly. Is this okay? Can you see that? Okay, kind of. Oh, yeah, you can. If I stick that on my computer, it's not too bad, is it? And we'll stick him in the front and have the clock in the back. This was kind of fun. A little labor intensive, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's going to sit somewhere and gather dust, but that's okay. That's what art is all about, right? The other thing I made this week, and I'm going to share it with you as soon as I finish this, I made a book. I was watching Mike Deacon. I don't know if anybody you follow Mike Deacon. He's doing the 7 Days of Halloween, and he made a hardcover book. And I made a book. and I actually used cardboard and I covered it with some cut off. I had cut off some pants that I had, and I used that to cover it. And I'm going to show that to you in a minute because I was very proud of the end result. And I filled it with watercolor paper. And I have a little raven here, and I'm going to try to stick this little raven on Poe's shoulder. Now, I'm sure all of you are aware of The Simpsons. And The Simpsons every year do a phenomenal, yeah, I love his missions. Every year they do a Halloween special, and I highly, highly recommend you go online and search for the Halloween special where Bart is the Raven and Homer is the guy sitting in the chair. It is one of the best renditions of the Raven ever. A very good friend of mine who's an English teacher, she plays that every year in her English classes because it is so cool. And I mean, all of their Halloween specials are really cool, but that one is particularly funny. Good night, Janet. Janet, you leaving? Sleep well, Janet. It's very late for you, right? 6 hours later than it is here, so it's the wee hours. And I enjoy Janet's stream so much. And I'm going to be doing that painty paper and recipe swap with Janet's group, and I'm looking forward to that. I've already typed up my recipe, and I made a whole bunch of painty papers. Whoops. Well, I don't know whether that's going to work. I just tore off his fingers. It's okay. Is that okay? Can you see what I'm doing? Okay. That's not too bad. Now I have this coffin, and this coffin is from the graphic fairies, and I'd made a coffin tag for Kathy's tag swap, and that's where that came from. So let's see. I should have left some tags on this. Well, we'll see what trouble I can get in with this. Probably going to burn. I burnt myself earlier today. This stuff is wicked. You know, you can really, if you're not careful. And I need a new glue stick, of course. All right. These kind of break off anyway. Okay. We don't need much because this is not, I'm not like kicking it across the room or anything. So it's not going to work. That's okay. I just need a little stickum, right? I don't know. I got enough stickum? Nah, I didn't. Well, that's okay. How am I doing on time, everybody? Are we good? It always seems like we're going like 90 miles an hour. Not a crow or raven. Yeah, are they? I always thought that they were one and the same. They're not? I didn't know that. Well, see, that's got juice in it. Yeah, I would not recommend the Gorilla glue gun. I had another glue gun that was, when you have something and all of a sudden you think you want to get something better and it turns out not being better. Well, that's the case here. Sorry, Gorilla. Now let's see whether I got enough. Oh, maybe I stick a little glue here and here. I don't know. All right, I'm going to stick this down and maybe I got enough goo on it. Yeah. I think that's supposed to be Lenore. Now, Lenore, a lot of the poems, a lot of them have to do with, his personal loss when he lost his wife. And I'm sure a lot of you know a lot more about Poe than I know, but what I understand that they were married, she died when she was 24. So they were married for 10 years. And from what I understand, even though it's kind of today, it's odd that, cousins would marry, apparently it was a happy marriage. So I have, these are two pieces, and my plan was to put each one of those in this box here. So that's how I had planned that out. Okay. So I'm going to do that with my, a lot of times, I'm sure a lot of you do, you forget to put the top on the glue stick back. And what I found, what I do when I do that, I just pull this down and then squirt some water in that and put the top back on, and it kind of brings back the gooiness. These Amazon sticks are really, really gooey and sticky. Whoops. So I'm going to stick that in here. And we'll stick that there. Get my fingers unstuck. Well, that's not too bad, is it? No? That looks pretty good, huh? I had something to go over here. I had this, but that doesn't fit there. Oh, that does fit there. Okay. All right. Then maybe that's what I was going to, that's where that was going to go. Oh, and I have a couple of, well, you know what it's like. Oh, I got a couple of pictures to put on the wall, so to speak. So I'll stick those down. Another gruesome picture. Stick that up in the corner. And we'll stick this here. And let's see if I can't get that in there like so. Bring that up like so. Let's go like so. Give it some dimension. Come on, stick, 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 stick. Ta-da! Whew. I think that's pretty good. And I'm going to quickly show you. Mary, it was one of those things, you're kind of like not happy with your, the Poe page, and now I made a Poe box. So I think it came out. I mean, obviously it could have a little tweaking here and then, but all together, it's not too bad. And if you don't mind, if I have time, I'm going to, thank you. I'm going to show you the book that I made. Ta-da! And this is my, some pants that I cut and made into shorts. And I made these little edges things. And I used, this is Timmy Holtz. Oh my gosh. I just bought a sewing machine, and you would think that I was making, I don't know, but I had a hell of a time just sewing these strips together. And I jammed it so many times, but that's anyway. So this is the book I made following Mike Deacon's. It's his second day of Halloween. And and this is one of my masterboard pages that I made. And I've got 4 signatures, and this is all watercolor paper. And this is a little book I made this week. So I made these little corners because I didn't have any fancy corners. So I made these little things out of paper, and I'm kind of happy with this. So now I have to fill it, right? So that's the book I made this week in my Poe box. So I still have a lot of time left, don't I? Wow. So what would you like to talk about? 6 minutes. Anything else? I know what I can share with you. Again, I get inspired by Kathy and Colleen. I don't know. There's something about what they do that I just go out and try it. And usually my attempts are not that successful. But they were doing leaves the other day, and so I went out and break out your dancing shoes. Yeah, that would be pretty ugly. But anyway, so they were printing leaves, and I immediately went out and started collecting my leaves. And I've had this discussion before. Florida leaves are different than other leaves because they're very waxy, and I was not able to uh, get a really good print. But I printed them out, and I managed to squeeze out all of the plant juice all over the place and made one bloody mess. But this is the result I ended up with. I like the sound of the paper. And so this was uh, the big shot. You put them behind, and so this one has got some bits, and I don't even know what the name of these plants are. But if you can see these impressions here, this is actually, when you get your plates, your plates in your big shot get damaged by other things, and that's what showed up. So these little hearts are from that. And I added ink like they did, and I have a gigantic rosemary bush growing, and so this is rosemary, sprigs of rosemary, and it smells like rosemary. All right. And I tried to do some black and white, and yeah, they're not too bad. Not compared to some of the prints you guys got, but I guess I could go buy artificial leaves. And that one came out pretty good. And that one's not bad. So, and that one's pretty good. I can cut them up. I'll use them for something. So the cup points up. What does that mean? Cup points up. Set down like a plate. Concave. Yes, my plates are a mess. They are just, and I wonder, is there a way of straightening those out, or you just buy new plates? I haven't gone online to see whether you can do something, but my plates are just really bent. They're a mess. So, or dome sequins. Who said sequins? Oh my gosh. I hate sequins. Buy new. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Eileen. Just bite the bullet and buy new. Yeah. I won a, what is it? Gemini, Genie, I don't know, whatever. And I don't like it at all. It's electric, so. Okay, so there is a way to fix plates. I figured there would be some way of doing that online. So you bought new? Yeah. Well, I must still thank you. Yes, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everybody else who has participated. These are just awesome. And we all learned something. And Laura, you look wonderful. I just saying, you look fabulous, as they would say in New York. You look fabulous. And you don't like it? I am so happy, Eileen, that I won that and didn't buy it, because if I had bought it, I would have been royally pissed off. So, just saying. So, all right. I'm sure Shelly's probably ready. And can I say, we okay? Get out. Okay. Okay. I'm reading this. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Yay, Shelly. She's awesome. And tomorrow is the Carehart auction with lessons, and there's so many lessons I want to sign up for. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we can always learn. I love learning new stuff all the time. So it's a wonderful thing. So the internet is, yeah, we're so fortunate to have the internet. I'm going to sign off and thank you all for being here once again. And thank you, Mary, and thank you for your support and all of you fellow hoppers. So good night, and be safe and be good. Well, as my mother used to say, if you can't be good, for God's sakes, be careful. That was my mom. So I love you all. Oops, there. And yes, got it.